we have the current stock market analysis for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, share prices are really surging higher to start the trading day. This is based on a news event. We have now received earnings for the quarter from Palantir, and they did beat in a few different areas. These price movements have been fairly extreme. We're starting to see the actual share price move above 50-50 at the moment. So, this is a tremendous amount of upside here. And it does look like this could be a volatile trading day because this is also election day. So, there's a certain amount of uncertainty that's present in the market. And, I think that the market is sort of, waiting for election results. Republicans tend to have a better effect on the stock market than Democrats, and that's really just for regulatory reasons, corporate tax reasons, and things like that. Generally speaking, Republicans tend to be viewed as being more friendly to big businesses and things like that. Historically speaking, and stock markets tend to perform better when Republicans are actually elected. So we will have to see what actually occurs with today's election. It does look like Donald Trump is most likely to win today. So we will actually need to see the final results here and then see how this unfolds within the broader stock market. So at the moment, we're looking at an earnings per share figure. That's the adjusted EPS figure that came in at 10 cents per share. That was a slight beat on expectations of 9 cents per share. The revenue figure came in at 726 million. 701 million was the expectation. So these are fairly strong numbers. That revenue figure does indicate annualized growth rates of 30%. And then for the fourth quarter guidance figure, they're looking for a range between 767 million to 771 million. So at the midpoint, we're looking at something close to 770 million, and this does widely beat the expectation, the prior expectation, which came in at 741 billion. So I do think that that's really what is fueling the market at the moment. I think it's this forward guidance figure more than the actual EPS figure. So because that wasn't really such a huge beat here, and we are seeing a lot of upside price movement at the moment. So currently, we are dealing with surging trading volumes as well. So this does sort of support this upward price movement. Of course, this isn't going to, do very much to help the overall. So what we're looking at here is the hourly time frame. So each price candle on this time frame represents a 1 hour trading period, and it does become more difficult to sort of forecast price predictions and things like that when you're dealing with a stock that is trading at all-time highs. So literally what this means is that we're trading in uncharted territory. So there is no, historical support or resistance levels that are going to be found out here. There's not going to be any exponential moving averages that are going to be found out here. There are some tactics that can be used to sort of project future price levels from here, things like standard deviation channels, Fibonacci extensions, and projections and things like that. But for the moment, I do think that it makes a bit more sense to start to look at potential downside price movements here, because I do think that this could be a volatile trading day. I mean, we could see two-way price swings in both directions. I think that would be even more true if Kamala Harris were to win the election. I don't believe that will happen. I think that Donald Trump will be winning this election by a wide margin. But there's always that element of uncertainty. I mean, we really didn't know what was going to happen in 2020 either, or in the midterm elections in 2022. So, the potential for surprises here does still exist. And then when you're dealing with, upside price movements that leave significant gaps in share prices like this, that only increases the potential for share price volatility, really in both directions. So what we're going to look at here specifically really just is this most recent trend wave movement. Now that we have broken through this $50 level, that's sort of a psychological zone that has now been sort of breached, and it won't need to be broken again. I mean, it's already been broken here. So, if we do start to see a bit of a retracement here, it wouldn't be completely surprising, because even Alex Karp himself was recently selling significant amounts of stock. So that does suggest that even he believes the company to be a bit overvalued at current levels. And this is something that could weigh on the stock here going forward. If we were going to look at possible downside price movements from here, what we would really need to have here is this near-term high, and we don't really have that yet. There's a possibility here that we could continue to see some follow through here, depending on how the election results actually unfold and things like that. But if we were to assume that these near-term prices were the actual price high, there is scope here that share prices could start to move back into this price gap that was created during the beginning of the trading session. Interestingly, this price zone here, the top of this price gap does come in right near this 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level, which is significant because if share prices were to break below this level, you would then be losing the 38.2% Fib retracement support. And then in addition to that, the stock would have to start to fill in this downside price gap. So at the moment, what we're dealing with, the top of the price gap starts at roughly $47. And then that extends down to roughly 41.60 or so. So I will just write this in on the price chart here. So the bottom of the price cap is 41.60, and then the top is just below 47. I'll call it 46.95. So, there's definitely potential for downside price movement here. I mean, that $5 is a fairly significant price gap when you're dealing with a $50 stock. I mean, that does mean that share prices could retrace even 10% of that move if the stock does wind up refilling this prior movement here, this prior price gap. So this would be a very significant movement, and it does suggest that volatility here could continue. I don't really recommend buying in at these upper levels. I think that now that the stock has broken through these psychological levels, I think that the bigger risk is for downside price movement. You have seen a lot of upside here in a very short period of time, and as we can see here in the indicator reading, the stock is trading in heavily overbought territory at the moment. This is the hourly time frame, so it's a very closely watched time frame. And at the moment, we're trading near 85 in the relative strength index. So this is a very high reading. I mean, you really don't go much higher than that. Anything above 70 would be considered to be overbought. And, we're starting to reach extreme levels here. So the potential for further upside here near term does look a bit limited because we have seen such a strong surge here in share prices to start today's trading session. So here's the current market update for Palantir Technologies, stock ticker PLTR. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.